Here are your hosts, Hank Davis and Mello Betts.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the NFL Fan Podcast. It's Mello's NFL Weekly, brought to you by TPEnetwork.com. I'm your host, former professional athlete Hank Davis, and joining me on the line, as always, he is our resident professor of sports and the gambling guru. He's Mello Betts. How are you, buddy?
Hey, please excuse the fact that I'm barely above water, so if you hear a little gurgling, that's me with my picks falling underneath 500.
Well, if that's the case, then I look like the character off of Titanic just floating to the bottom of the ocean. Never let him go. Didn't you hear that guy? He said, never let him go, you jerk. Oh, man. Awesome, Mello. How the heck are you, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Lots of news stuff to cover, so shall we jump right in?
All right.
That was kind of a Titanic reference.
It's time for the news, a roundup of all the biggest headlines.
The NFL Players Association filed papers in federal court pointing out that the NFL permitted a 1996 incentive program for big hits funded by then Green Bay defensive lineman Reggie White. In papers filed Thursday in U.S. District Court, the union questioned why NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell should now be able to suspend former Saints linebacker Scott Fujita for offering then New Orleans teammates rewards for big plays during the 2009 season. The filing cited media reports about White's Smash for Cash program that paid $500 for big plays, including big hits. The reports include players from other teams discussing similar pools climbing into the thousands of dollars. Mello, what are your thoughts on this new old information?
Can't we just put it all away? Can't this whole thing just go away? I'm just tired of it, dude. I mean, I don't know how you're going to police what goes on in every individual locker room. They've got pools for, you got to pay if you're late for meetings or late for practice. They got pools for everything. So I don't know how you're going to police this thing.
So they've gone from, we weren't doing that to now, well, look, it's happened before.
Yeah.
And how does that make it any better? If you're admitting you've done it and the NFL says that they don't want you doing that stuff, then you got to pay the piper, don't you?
Yeah, you do. So let's just put this in the rear view and go on. Now everybody knows the secret is out. We shouldn't be doing this. And if you are doing it, keep it low profile, because boys will be boys. But I'm tired of talking about it, honestly.
Yeah, it has gotten pretty long in the tooth. And this is what happens when you lawyer up with these big, expensive lawyers. You can drag this stuff out for years. And
it doesn't seem like there's an end coming anytime soon, that's for sure.
Despite returning to practice only Wednesday from a torn ACL in April, Baltimore Ravens linebacker Terrell Suggs is targeting and expecting to play Sunday versus the Houston Texans. This is according to the league sources. Mello, this wouldn't even been on the table if Ray Lewis wouldn't have got hurt.
Exactly.
So why on earth would you risk it now?
They are believing that getting a little long in the tooth and these injuries and stuff, I think they're pushing their poker chips into the center of the table at gambling on this season and not looking at the big picture of things. Because I do not take a chance with T-Sizzle. I'm sorry. And I thought that was uncanny about the Ray Lewis injury right after you said that, dude.
Oh, man. And then, of course, on Twitter and via email, I am, of course, the Hank Davis curse, which is... it's followed me from television show cancellations to now. God. I guess I'm now the sports equivalent of John Madden.
Just don't say anything about me either way, please.
Oh, what a ringing endorsement that was. Come to my defense. Oh, I'll be back here in the watchtower. Hold on. Thanks,
I'm keeping some distance from you, buddy.
Who wants to be on the cover of TPEnetwork.com?
No.
Oh, man. Killing me. Tim Tebow could be used as a running back while the New York Jets play the New England Patriots on Sunday in Foxborough. Rex Ryan said this during a Thursday press conference. That's a possibility, Ryan said. The thing about Tim, with him being a football player, like we've always talked about, by playing quarterback, he knows all the positions. And so you could play him at running back. You can plug him in at tight end, whatever. I think the answer is yes. Oh, my goodness, Mello. Now, how come they didn't make such a big deal when Brad Smith, he was a versatile player. Mm-hmm. You could plug him in at 3 positions easily, and nobody really made a big deal about that. Not like this.
No, because this is Tebow, and this is a whole new ascension to greatness here.
Would you like to see him play running back? He would take some full-on hits, though, man.
Can we just get him to one position and leave him there so we don't have to talk about one guy all the time? We can talk about their team and not one player that's a backup is the highlight of their team. That's just amazing to me.
And how many people, out there will just hinge on every play if he's out there?
Oh, my goodness. I don't know what it is, but yeah.
It's ratings.
Exactly how it would go down.
Yeah, the guy is ratings, man. We need to get him on this show and get some big-time ratings right there. This is like insert Tebow here, and then all of a sudden, that's it.
We're going to have to clean up a few things if we're going to get him on this show, buddy.
Yeah. Yes, you are correct. Despite the team's 2-3 start, Dallas Cowboys tight end Jason Witten says he has no problem with owner Jerry Jones's comments that they should compete for a championship this season. Mello, do you think that's really realistic at this stage of the game?
Well, the talent is there. Why they don't win is beyond me. I really don't understand what's going on down there. Well, I think Jerry has a lot to do with it, but to me, in my opinion, they have talent on both sides of the ball. How they do not win games and are able to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory is beyond me.
Would you say that if Jerry Jones was able for one season to just stay out of the mix so much, do you think that they would make leaps and bounds in their progress in pursuit of a championship?
If you had the right professional guy in there, yes, I think they would. I think there'd be a lot of pressure off of everybody. I mean, you got an owner that's the GM that's so hands-on that he's right down on the field. Can't tell me that the stars of that team are not feeling direct pressure from him.
Oh, definitely. I wouldn't want to be on that team just for that reason alone. Yep. The owner is a fan, plus he is the GM, plus he really probably is the coach. Yeah,
de facto coach, yeah.
He's probably like, come on, do that play I told you, or else you're out. What else are you going to do? So everybody on this team seems to have to toe that company line, and it just doesn't work that way. John Gruden is rumored to be in the mix for becoming the Cleveland Browns' next head coach.
What did he do wrong?
Mello, would that job even appeal to John Gruden?
The teams that have been mired in losing and stuff like that, the guys with the big egos and stuff, they just see, if I'm the one that turns around, nobody's going to miss this. This is must-see TV. If I can pull this off, I'll be a legend, so that's the draw. But, I mean, golly, you just think that's not an easy fix. I don't think when a team's been losing for a while, I don't think that you're just going to come in and turn it around to a playoff team the very next season. I just don't think it's going to go down like that.
No, and, I mean, when are we going to be talking about the Browns in a relevant term?
You got me.
And I'm not a Browns hater.
I've been waiting for a little while now.
I am by no means a Browns hater. You're a Browns fan. I don't want to see any team. You can quote me on this. It doesn't help the NFL at all to have any team be that bad for that long. Just be not consistent and to, just have this dark cloud hanging over an organization. It doesn't help. Just like when the Lions were just terrible for how long? That doesn't help the NFL. That doesn't help the fans.
You can't have teams where there's just running jokes about their losing streaks and all that kind of stuff. It's not good for, the overall basis for your quality of product.
Yeah, and I like parity. That's what I like. In all of sports. I think every team should be able to beat every other team. It should, you just should not have games where you just go in and going, well, by how much?
Yeah, there shouldn't be on the board each week 3 double-digit, favorites. That shouldn't happen.
No. Lastly, Mello, Chargers GM A.J. Smith says that he takes full responsibility for the present mess. Why is he jumping on this grenade when Norv Turner should be jumping on it?
Well, I'm going to give him hand in hand because he's left Norv in position to keep this mediocrity. He hasn't made a move, and every year Norv's on the hot seat and stuff. Well, meanwhile, the window of opportunity is closing on you guys while you're letting it slip away with whether to get rid of Norv or not. You've kind of made your bed. Now you're kind of stuck with him.
And Wayne Henderson from the Packers Fan Podcast, he's a great guy. He made a nice little joke on Twitter last week. Maybe Norv's related to somebody in ownership.
Yeah.
I don't know. How does he keep getting these gigs, and how does he keep staying on?
That is beyond me.
You're doing less with more talent. Not good. Probably not good. Mello, every week we scour the web for news stories, and there's a ton of stories that just don't pertain to football hardly at all, and that's why we created that segment called That's Not Football. That's not football. The Carolina Panthers are hoping the bye week has helped wipe the slate clear after their disappointing 1-4 start. They hope that they'll be coming back re-energized. Quarterback Cam Newton, for one, says he feels refreshed. Newton spent the week by visiting a haunted house, going go-kart racing, watching movies, playing video games, and doing some self-evaluation, which included a conversation with his dad that makes him value his position even more. Mello.
That's not football, buddy.
On a visit to the Cleveland Browns, vice presidential candidate Paul Ryan fumbled. Ryan stopped by the team's complex with former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice as the Browns were beginning practice Wednesday. While addressing the huddled players, Ryan confused Browns backup quarterback Colt McCoy for starter Brandon Weeden. As Ryan spoke, it became obvious that while he was looking at McCoy, he was talking about Weeden. A few of the Browns players began laughing quietly while others looked away before the candidate realized his mistake. Mello?
That is not football.
That'd be like me going, okay, now Alex Cruz, now this is the Fallen Skies podcast we're doing right now. You'd be like, what the heck? Somebody get this guy some brain pills. Tight end Martellus Bennett enjoys playing for the Giants far more than he enjoyed playing for the Cowboys. Bennett spent 4 seasons with Dallas, but he says that he's already established a better relationship with Eli Manning than he ever had with Tony Romo. And more specifically, he no longer has to be the second girlfriend. Mello?
That's not football.
We're going to double up on this next one because this is going to be a double That's Not Football, because the headline caught me first, and the headline read, NFL legend aids couple trying to get pregnant. Mello?
That's not football, guys. Not even close.
But a Houston couple, they hope to make at least $20,000 auctioning off a one-of-a-kind trading card with the signatures of Barry Sanders and Walter Payton. However, for what it's being used for, Mello,
that's not football, guys.
That headline really just reached out and smacked me, though.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, what show am I doing here? Is this relationship hot topics? Minnesota Vikings quarterback Christian Ponder had a little rookie hazing prank up his sleeve on Thursday. Ponder tweeted a photo of Preparation H and Tux and said he found the items in teammate offensive tackle Matt Khalil's locker. He added, "I hope you're okay, buddy." Mellow.
That's not football, guy.
And Christian, if I was Khalil, I would just let them through. I would just let them by, buddy. I'd be like, oh, is it funny now?
Olay.
And lastly, the St. Louis Rams. Oh, my goodness. Packers fans, you're going to love this. The St. Louis Rams are hosting the Green Bay Packers on Sunday, and Rams head coach Jeff Fisher is using an interesting plan to get the team prepared for the game. In order to get his offense acclimated to playing against Pro Bowl linebacker Clay Matthews, he had the practice squad leader, linebacker Sammy Brown, wear a blonde wig during practice. Mello?
That is not football.
Not even close. Well, every week somebody says something that's just so stupid that we have to tell them to shut up. This week, hey, for someone who was critical of Robert Griffin III having the nickname RG3 when he entered the NFL, O.C. Umenyiora has made a complete turnaround. After Griffin's stellar NFL debut against the Saints, Umenyiora, you remember we said it here, immediately said he was willing to call him RG3. Now he's taken it a step further. His name is Sir. His name is Sir Robert Griffin, Umenyiora said. And for that, shut up! I'm sorry, but that's a little over the top for me.
Yeah, just a little.
Sometimes, Mello, there's something that goes on in the NFL that makes me scratch my head and look a little deeper because I'm a conspiracy theorist. And that's why we came up with the Conspiracy Sports Moment of the Week.
It's time for the Conspiracy Sports Moment of the Week.
On Thursday night's NFL matchup, the Seahawks were called for holding in their own end zone.
Hey, that's a safety.
With under a minute left to play, which would have given San Francisco a 2-possession lead had Jim Harbaugh not declined the penalty. The play also happened to be on 4th down, and Seattle came up short of the first down mark on its completed pass. Instead of accepting the penalty and taking the safety, Harbaugh took the result of the play and had his offense take the field for a kneel down. It was the same outcome for the 49ers, however, entirely different outcome for sports gamblers. Since the 8-point spread would have been busted, it would have turned that to 9.
Oh.
Mello, am I tinfoil hat worthy, or am I on to something here?
That's what people are talking about. They have made references to Vegas with that deal and how disappointed some people would have been had he gone along with the safety business and broken that spread. So, yeah, you've got something going here. I mean, something like that. How can you overlook that, really? I mean, maybe we're crazy, but it just seems blatantly obvious to me.
Yeah, because I doubt a team is going to. I don't think you really need to salt the clock away with, 22 seconds left?
No.
I don't think you're going to worry about a frenetic comeback. All right, it's time for the rap sheet, Mello. You ready for that?
Okay.
Calling all cars. Calling all cars. Be advised, we have NFL players on the loose.
A man who claims his girlfriend once had a physical relationship with the retired Steelers wide receiver Hines Ward was in custody Friday on charges he tried to extort $15,000 from the player by threatening to release evidence the player had paid for sex. Joshua Van Auker, a 26-year-old from Pittsburgh, was awaiting arraignment on 2 felony counts of attempted extortion. Nate Burleson said the Detroit Lions have to embrace their inner bad boy so he can't let a little thing like 10 stacks change that philosophy. Burleson was fined $10,000 for his end zone celebration during the win against the Philadelphia Eagles. Burleson waved his arms in a mock eagle, then mimicked shooting it with a rifle. I would expect PETA to chime in at any time.
Oh, yes.
For those of you watching the video feed, those are the only 2 rap sheets because it's Friday. And there's not a lot out there. But Saturday, if you're somebody listening to the audio feed, you'll never hear any of this. And the rap sheet will be still going on at this point. The power of editing and post-production.
Yes.
All right, Mello. Oh, goodness. Anything you want to discuss before we have to get to these interesting Week 7 picks that we're going to have to make here?
I had a tough time with my picks this week. And, I mean, not just because I'm under 500 the last 2 weeks. My picks haven't been that great. Even my best bets have leveled off to 500. The parity is kicking in here and playing consistently. I'm not seeing a whole lot of that. So I think you just go with your gut instinct is all I can say on your picks.
And mine's telling me to stop. Mine's like, just don't try.
Stop while you're ahead.
Please,
or,
please quit. You're awful. You're awful. All right, then. I guess without further ado, Mello, it's time to pick 'em.
It's time to pick 'em. Remember, picks are made for entertainment purposes only.
Awesome. Oh, here we go. This is what we love to do. At San Francisco, they were an 8-point favorite against Seattle, the visiting team. I had taken Seattle, and you had as well, right, Mello?
Yep.
Okay. So we got that one. So thank you, Harbaugh, for not taking that safety, buddy.
You thanked Harbaugh. That had to been hard to do, baby.
I have blood running down my chin right now. At Buffalo, the Buffalo Bills will lay 3.5 to the visiting Tennessee Titans. I'm going to take Tennessee getting the 3.5, man. Buffalo by no means has shown me anything when it comes to consistency. And this should be a knockdown, drag-out brawl. Or they could just get blown out. Mello, who are you taking?
I am going to jump the shark on this one and take Buffalo to cover points, which sounds insane, I know. But they showed me signs of life last week, and I just believe they're going to muster some offense this week and have, some kind of a good game here, because this mediocre brand of football that they've been playing for a while, they're better than that. And I'm going to say that this week they show they're better than that.
Awesome. Okay, we'll see. At Minnesota, the Vikings are going to lay 6.5 to the Arizona Cardinals. I wanted to take Minnesota based on, some things we've seen from Arizona over the last few weeks. But I'm going to take Arizona getting that 6.5. I think they're going to have a little bit of a coming out game. And I think they're going to win this game outright, to be honest with you. But who are you taking?
I like Minnesota at home, but the 6.5 scared me off. I know Arizona, you wonder where their offense is going to come from. But I think with the two defenses, this is going to be an ugly game, low scoring. So the 6.5 looms large. So that gives me the Cardinals.
Hopefully their offense is going to come from Arizona, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. That was terrible. All right. We have at Indianapolis. The Colts are going to lay 2.5 to the Cleveland Browns. Shouldn't the Browns be fired up after, vice presidential hopeful showed up and slaughtered their names and stuff?
He doesn't even know who you guys are.
No, and either do we. So I'm taking the Colts laying the 2.5. I think they nip this one. Who are you taking?
Yeah, give me the Colts in this one. Brandon Whedon is throwing for 250 a game, but who is he throwing to? That is, without question, the worst receiving core in all of NFL football.
Ooh, ouch, Mel. Harsh. You're always harder on the teams you love.
Yeah, it's true though. I mean, who is he? Can you name one? Name one of them. With the injuries they've got, name one of their receivers.
Okay, let me get on Google. Hold on.
Google can't even find the receivers.
Google nor Whedon can find the receivers. Awesome. At Houston, the Texans are going to lay 6.5. They're going to slather it up with barbecue sauce. And they're going to face the Ravens now. Both of these teams are walking wounded, Mello. So I'm going to take the Ravens getting that 6.5. I think this is actually going to be a heavyweight battle in a good game. Who are you taking?
I certainly would think so. And this game just jumps right out at you. But Houston covered the first 4 weeks, and I have bit the bullet sticking with them the last 2 weeks and lost. So I'm going to go against them this week and take Baltimore, because that's 6.5 in a game that Baltimore can win. Houston showed you against Green Bay that they are, human. So, they want to bounce back. But I'm just saying, Baltimore isn't a gimme in anybody's, in anybody's stretch of the imagination. This should be a good game, no matter how mad Houston is and they're at home and all that other stuff. But I'm just saying, two good football teams. One's getting 6.5. I take that team.
Even with injuries on both teams, I still think this is a good game. Green Bay is going to lay 5.5. They're going to be on the road at St. Louis, a road favorite, Mello. How have they fared this year? Not well, right?
No.
But you know what? I'm going to just take a flyer on this. I'm going to try Green Bay, and maybe their newfound enthusiasm, maybe that'll spill over into this game. And the Rams, you can get them if you can get them down early. You can sit on them. So give me Green Bay. Who are you taking?
I am going to go out on a limb and take St. Louis at home, and I will tell you why. It's because of their coach. I think he's going to game plan for these guys like he did the Lions and muck it up and not let them, get way out in front. And you know what? If Green Bay gets the lead, you know what they'll pile on and stuff. But I'm saying St. Louis at home, they're a little tougher than people might think. I know this game could get out of hand early. But I am going to gamble on St. Louis and their coach with a good scheme for Green Bay.
I just hope this game does not come down to like a duly caught Hail Mary in the corner of the end zone.
Oh, please, no.
Oh, I'm sorry. Dallas, the Cowboys, we're still in the Super Bowl hunt, will lay 2 points as they head to the go-karting Carolina Panthers. I'm taking Dallas on this one. I am taking them. They're gonna go in there and they're gonna rock these fools. Who are you taking?
Yeah, give me my Cowboys this week. Just on the same theory as Buffalo. This is one of the weeks that, hey, we're a good football team. We're going to show up and play this week. That's what I'm going off of.
At New York, the Giants are going to lay 6 points to the visiting Washington Redskins. Sir Robert Griffin has arrived. And he's going to get stretchered off on this game, but I'm still thinking that they're going to stay within that 6 points. I think this will actually be a fun game to watch until he gets stretchered off and needs that cart to get off.
No.
Mello, who are you taking?
Washington beat the Giants twice last year, so that was without Sir Robert Griffin. So I think, competitive game. Plus, it's in your own division, and I just don't know that the Giants are the kind of team that are going to back-to-back just crush people week in and week out. So give me the Skins in this one.
It's all about styles and matchups, and the Giants, they don't do well against the spread read option. All right, New Orleans is going to lay 2.5 at Tampa Bay. My goodness, Mello. I don't know. You want to flip a coin? I'll take New Orleans. Mello, who are you going to take?
Yeah, I took New Orleans. This was kind of a no-brainer for me. The inconsistency that you have with Tampa Bay, that kind of scares me. But you know what Breeze can do. So give me these guys on the road. I'm not scared to take them on the road.
So expect Tampa Bay to rout them.
Oh.
At New England, the Patriots are going to lay 10.5 to the New York Jets. Oh, my goodness, man. Oh, my goodness. That's a big spread.
It is.
I do expect the Patriots to throttle these fools. I really do. But I cannot in good conscience go into this game 10.5 points down just on the hopes that the Jets can muck it up. Give me the Jets with that 10.5. But I totally go into this game expecting the Patriots to be in the 40s. Who are you taking?
Yeah, this is one of those games where the Patriots could just rout them. But I am sticking with my guns, and I'm going to take the Jets and say that they show up to play football this week. They have to look at a 10.5-point spread like somebody just slapped them in the face. I mean, how insulting. In your own division, they're saying that you can't compete with the number one team in your division. They got to get mad. They got to do something, but they got to keep it within that 10.5.
Definitely. At Oakland, the Raiders are going to lay 4 points to the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm all over this. Give me Jacksonville plus the 4. I have no confidence in the Raiders. They don't have any confidence in themselves. Their ineffective aggressiveness, I like to call it. Let's throw for 300 and some yards and squeak out 20 points. Ridiculous. Give me Jacksonville. This should be a really snore fest. Who are you taking?
Chokehold on Atlanta and found a way to lose that game, but I have zero faith in Jacksonville and Blaine Gabbert. I don't think they're going to be able to handle the environment that they're in, and I say Oakland showed a little something last week, and they're going to show you a little bit more this week.
The Sunday night game, it's Pittsburgh. They're going to lay 1.5 on the road at Cincinnati. I'm going to take Pittsburgh. I think this should be actually a nice game to watch. I'm interested to see how these teams, duke it out against each other. Give me Pittsburgh. Who are you taking?
Yeah, Pittsburgh with the guys that they got back last week, I think it just gets better for them, as these guys are getting into football shape and in syncing, especially on that defense, in syncing with each other. I think they're going to pick up some steam now. Cincinnati, this should be a very competitive game, but since this point spread is so low, I'm going to take Pittsburgh to cover, because going the other way, I don't think that really is going to help you unless you believe Cincinnati wins it outright.
On Monday night, the Chicago Bears, they're going to be at home. They're going to lay 6 points inside their own division against the Detroit Lions. Oh my goodness, with that Detroit Lions secondary, this could be bad. But I'm going to take Detroit getting that 6 points, because this could be a really close game. These teams play each other tough, regardless of the talent or lack thereof in certain positions. They play each other pretty tough, and I think this will be an interesting matchup. Give me Detroit getting the 6 points, and don't be shocked if they come out of there with a W, because Chicago sure will hand you the ball enough. Who you taking, Mello?
Yeah, I'm taking Detroit as well. 6 points within the division is probably the deciding factor for me. But talk about two teams that really don't like each other, and they're already chirping. This game has the potential to have some serious penalties in it. And if Detroit can muck it up and get Chicago to play their kind of penalty-infested, mistake-prone football, this could be a really ugly game, and the 6 points will loom large. Plus, Detroit can win this game. You've already seen they wait till the fourth quarter before the big lion wakes up and starts, pawing around at anything. So you can't really count them out. So when you get a chance to get Detroit with 6, with the way they can score when they decide to do something, it's kind of a value pick.
All right, folks, that does it for the picks against the spread. I do have to give a shout out to Les. He's a listener of the NFL Fan Podcast, Mello's NFL Weekly. My Yankees, yes, they were swept. Yes, I had the ball cap on this week, and per our little bet, I am wearing a Tigers T-shirt on the air. I don't know let me see if I can see it on the camera. There you go. There, you see it. You notice I covered it up with the lower third all show. That's why, because I'm upset. But I'm a man of my word, so I'm wearing the shirt. Mello, any final thoughts from anything around the NFL that you want to discuss before we get off of here?
Let me throw a couple numbers out at you. The big spreads went 0-3 last week, making them 5-10-2 for the season. Home favorites were 3-8, while home dogs were 3-0 last week. So right now, you're looking at home favorites as just a miserable 22-34-2. Home underdogs 21-12. Road favorites 12-21, and road dogs 34-22-2. So your home dog and your road dog continue to hold the line. We'll see if that trend changes any as the board loaded with home favorites this week.
Yeah, I think that this week I'm expecting some of that to level out. We'll see. But awesome stuff. Good numbers, Mello.
Thank you.
All right, folks. For Mello Betts, I'm Hank Davis. Until next time, my friends, we're signing off.
If you have comments or feedback, you can email the guys at tprfans@yahoo.com. That's tprfans@yahoo.com, or call the voicemail line at +1 810 309 8445.